recording. Okay,
Yeah.
success. All right. So I would just say definitely apply to a range of schools. There's a really good website called auditioningforcollege.com. You know that website?
I don't.
Okay, it's FOR, like auditioning for college.
Okay.
And if you go on there and you pull down musical theater, you can pull down voice, you can pull down acting, and it just pulls down different columns and it lists all the schools and all their websites. And then you can, there's like a chat thing and stuff, but it's a good way to kind of like go, what are the musical theater schools? It's all in one place, and you can kind of go to the websites and just find out some requirements and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then there's various lists, like the 10 best musical theater programs. What's really important is to distinguish whether you want a conservatory experience or you want a university experience. Both can get you a BFA.
Right.
Are you thinking about one or the other, or?
Well, I like the university aspect of it.
Me too.
It's always more fun, but I mean, maybe I feel like I'm leaning more towards university at this point.
That's cool,
Well,
and I'll tell you why. I mean, I'm an advocate for that, just from my own college experience.
Right.
I think college is a time to kind of find out who you are and grow up and kind of open the shutters in a lot of ways, right? So, and acting is about being exposed to lots of different kinds of people, places, and stuff, and being worldly and be able to play that kind of person, play this kind of person, instead of just, and I find that conservatories can have this great kind of intensity training, but it's so narrow, like, you're going to go to one building, you see the same 30 people, all you talk is about it is like, oh, look how high she belted, and it's like, there's more to life than that, and I think there's more to college than that, and I also think that, and yet have a place with a really great program, but you meet, and the GE classes you take are much more diverse instead of, accounting for actors, instead of just like, so I think, because here's the other thing you're gonna find, or I found, is I was sort of surprised at other stuff that I dug.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I didn't know I liked anthropology or whatever. And to go, and the reality of this, as much as we want to say, I'll always be working, I'll always be on Broadway, I'll never have a day of not working, you're going to not work more than you're probably going to work. It's just like the ride of how it works. It's like, you're in a show for 6 weeks, you're out of work for 2 months, you're in a show for 6 weeks, you're out of work. So it goes up and down, and to kind of say, and you'll be auditioning a lot, so it's like, what if your day job was, cleaning fossils at the Met Museum in New York?
Right.
Something you really dig because you're into anthropology, and I'm auditioning and doing these shows.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I don't know, and I think that it gives you a thing to fall back on, or kind of, again, open your horizons and meet all kinds of people and keep many plates in the air, because the more you can do, the more you're going to work as well. So I think that's very, very helpful, and gets you out of the kind of the tunnel vision of the conservatory thing.
That makes sense.
Okay, so with that said, how are your SATs and stuff like that? How are your grades?
SATs an 1130 right now. I'm looking to get that up.
Okay.
I'm taking
Was it like 24 or 18? I can't remember.
the
They've
highest is
changed it.
1600.
Yeah, they changed it a couple of years
Because
ago.
now it's 16 again?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
But from what we've understood, I'm sorry, I'm going to interject.
It was so weird. It was like,
Yeah.
how much is an SAT now?
I know.
It was like,
It's very
yeah.
bizarre. But most of the schools for the BFA programs, many of them are test optional. Dean looks good on paper. He's got great grades, AP classes, social activism.
Great, right.
working,
Yeah, I was going to say,
all
that's
these
the other
things.
part B is like, what have you done for charity? What have you done? Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. I mean, the SAT isn't stellar, but he's everything else. What's
You
your
can hit that
GPA?
4.3 right now.
Yeah,
Great.
So,
yeah. So,
Good.
yeah.
Because even like a place like, for example, Irvine, fantastic program.
I'm sorry, everyone keeps coming back to that, and he does not want to go there.
That's actually, I went to Irvine actually. I loved it. But what I was going to say, like, that program is, you don't audition for that program. You have to get in with your grades though. And so as I was saying, many schools,
Right.
like like, I did a great audition. I don't care, my grades or my scores aren't getting me in the door. So like NYU is part of that too. You know what I mean? So you have to make sure that you keep that going, which you are.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Emerson was one that I hope I would like him to go to if he wants to, because besides the BFA, they have an honors program, which he would definitely qualify.
And a great, just liberal art school. It's
Yep.
got a lot of great stuff
And-
here and Boston. There's a campus here as well.
Yeah, and it was voted the #1 LGBTQ friendly campus, and also
Oh, really?
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Cool.
#1 in journalism. But I don't think you're interested in that. Yeah. So, and we met the rep there, and it just seems like a really good school. And they give you 50% merit-based scholarship if you're in the honors program.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I have many friends who've gone there and they loved it. So,
Did they? Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So what schools are you considering right now? What are your kind of thinking
I
about?
have a list. Well, definitely NYU. A lot of them are like, top 10 best. I still have to look into like BA programs because
Uh-huh.
I've been mainly looking into BFAs. But there's like Carnegie Mellon, Ithaca, Elon, NYU, Cornell, Millikan, maybe AMDA, not quite sure, Manhattan School of Music, and
Mhm.
Emerson.
In Emerson. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it so you're not as look, I have to be in New York for school. I'm gonna die. You're okay.
I'm fine with going anywhere. I would like to be in New York. It would be preferable, but if there's a better program somewhere else, I'm not going to be in a better program.
Okay, because there's also like Marymount Manhattan. There's Pace. There's other
Yeah.
New York programs and
Mhm.
even some acting stuff in Columbia. It's all better for grad school than undergrad, I think, for acting.
Okay.
Ryder, Wagner, Ryder's in Jersey, Wagner's in Staten Island.
Okay.
So you know what I mean. There's
Yeah.
places that are really right there, and the new
Right.
school, things like that. So there's
Okay.
if you want to be there. But that's a nice list, and it's a varied list. And again, from going through the auditioning for college website, it's there's a lot of great stuff. Like for example, Webster in St. Louis is a fantastic liberal arts college. The Oklahoma program at OU is great. Texas University is great. Is really coming up.
State of Texas
Texas
State.
State,
I was
TSU.
really surprised.
Yeah, in
it's
the last
I
like
think
3 years, it's really like
Yeah.
just on.
tons
So
of money and
yeah, you know what I mean. So there's really
Yeah.
good training.
Yeah.
And what do you think? Are you thinking about anything in like UCLA or USC? Are you thinking about any programs here?
Maybe USC. I'm a little bit iffy since it's a new program. And maybe Fullerton as well. Those are
Fullerton
really
has
good.
attrition, just so you know that.
Oh,
They
what's
cut, meaning
Okay.
that
Oh.
you get in and there's not necessarily a guarantee that you're going to leave with a degree in that program if you got in.
Okay.
They cut as they go through the program. So
Okay.
is it okay for you to go from like a BFA in musical theater to a BA in theater?
Right.
Or like, no, I really want a BFA and
Yeah.
that's it, or whatever.
Okay.
So that's important to
Yeah.
distinguish. Okay, so why don't we? And then with your grid, do you mainly have like some are 1 minute, some are 90. You have 16 and 32s,
Uh-huh.
right? Do you have for NYU? Do you have like anything that's before 1965? Do you need like
Uh-huh.
time era limits?
Yes, they were all over the place. I did it. I don't know. I mean, we have all those schools. Yeah, time errors, and I apologize. I don't have them memorized as to how many want this, how many want that.
Mhm.
But some of them were different. Some were pre-19.
1900.
I mean, yeah.
That would be some of the
though-
monologues.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, for
Right.
yeah. For songs, there were classical and contemporary. Most of them were.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was the monologues that were pretty varied in the time frame.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning some before 75, some before 65. That kind of a. But other than that, I don't.
Okay.
Know anything else.
Well, I pulled a bunch of stuff for you in both places, so we can start to. Do you want to start to kind of? Do you have any further questions? Should we try to hack through pieces and see what you think? I mean, do you want to do that?
Sure.
For monologues or for songs?
For both. I mean, we can.
Okay.
We have like another hour and 10 minutes, so I was thinking that
Okay.
we can kind of. It will take probably a while to get to this list to see what you
Right.
think. But I think I have some kind of a good sense of who you are, and I think you want to kind of help box who you are as
Yeah.
well as beyond who you are, but definitely show you. So
Yes.
that's I think really important. So why don't we just start hacking through it and see what you think? So this first pile are, or this first grouping before it flips over, are contemporary comedic. Everything is always from full published plays,
Uh-huh.
so you don't have that problem. And then ones that you start to like, let's make kind of a like a yes, a maybe, and a no pile. And then we can start to eliminate and get down to make sure we have the categories that are all in the yes pile, and we can start to concentrate on that. And then you can get the plays, read the plays, and then be
Okay.
informed on the inside. Okay.
Gotcha.
So this first one is actually from a fantastic musical review called Scrambled Feet that was around in the 70s. This is a 1-minute cut of the section of where this guy is like just out of grad school, and he's in Shakespeare in the Park in New York at the Delacorte, and he's like a spear carrier and Julius Caesar in the back. So
Okay.
normally what happens is like there's a guy doing all on a mic off stage doing all the voice, and he's just like physicalizing what the voice is happening, his inner thoughts, but you would be speaking the whole thing.
Okay.
So this is him like clocking the other people who thinks he's so much better than
Right.
playing
Yeah.
the show, and then he happens to be wearing glasses, so we'll read it. So we'll just read it through.
I can't believe the Romans really wore this stuff, especially in the summer. No wonder they lost the empire. At least it's nice being here in the park every night. This is my big act where I have my line. All that training for one line. Why don't they just shut up and stab him already? Everybody knows the story. Is this my cue? Was that my line? No. I'm okay. I'm okay. Hey, there's that agent I invited. He's looking at me. Oh boy, I can see him. Oh no, I can see him. I forgot to take my glasses off. How could I spend 30 minutes in front of a mirror getting into character and forget to take off my glasses? Wait, if I take them off now, everyone will notice. Well, what am I worried about? The Romans had glasses. They had metal. Sure. Wait, here comes my line. Here comes my line. Sail Caesar. Oh shit.
Sail Caesar, Hail Caesar.
Yeah.
So it's a fun 1-minute specialty thing that I think is really cute.
Yeah.
And I like because you have like a lot of variety and different places. So do you like it? Does
I
it
like
feel
it.
close to you? Okay, now
Yeah.
a yes?
Yes.
All right, so that'll be in the yes pile, okay. All right, so this next one is from Hello, Goodbye, Peace. And this is a guy who's pitching in front of a bunch of investors and kind of like an advertising team this new idea of supersonic puppies as a way of breaking a criminal.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then the yellow is the 1-minute cut.
Okay. You study the behavior of convicted murderers, right? How many of them tell you that they were cuddling with an adorable puppy when they snapped? None, right? So why don't we lock them away with these puppies? What if we could engineer a totally lifelike, indestructible super puppy? I tell you it can be done, and you won't know the difference between it and a standard puppy. Except if you try to snap its neck, it's impossible. Now, we take a room full of these puppies and we put the most hardened banger in there. At first, they may try to kill the puppies. Soon, the murderer falls into a state of learned helplessness. Why? Why can't I kill these puppies? Why? At this moment, our superior puppies our super puppies close in, licking and nuzzling and staring with their perfectly round, adorable eyes. Those criminals will begin to giggle. Their anger, their fear, their hate will be overwhelmed by love. Now, who among you is going to fund my research? Maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
Yes.
This next one is from Lend Me a Tenor. Do you know that play?
No.
Okay, so Lend Me a Tenor is a farce, like Noises Off, if you know that play. Written by the same author, actually, Ken Ludwig. And this is Max, is kind of a young intern who's in charge of kind of wrangling the opera star Tita Morelli. And Tito's taking a nap. He's an impossible wife. He's like a real ball buster, and this other girl wants to see him and all this stuff. And he's trying to stand guard and keep everybody away from Tito while he's napping, and then get into the theater to sing this opera.
Right.
So this is him dealing with one person, getting him out of there, and then trying to wake up Tito up.
Okay. Diana, is there anything I can do for you? You want to meet Mr. Marielli? Gee, that's nice of you, but the thing is, he's sleeping right now. He's taking a nap. No, you can wait. Yeah, well, actually, I thought it might be better if I got him to the theater first, and then he could meet everybody at the same time. I mean, I've got to wake him, and he's got to get ready, and he might want some alone time. If you see what I mean. Yes, Diana. I know that one word from Mr. Marielli will can help your career. I get it. I do. I really, really do. Except right now the thing is just to get him there, and then later you'll have plenty of time. I mean, he'll be there tomorrow, right? Okay. Later. I promise. I'll arrange it so you have lots of time with him. Alone. Okay? I promise. Oh, jeez. Tito, it's time to get up. I ordered some coffee, but if you want anything else, I can call downstairs. And are you hungry, Tito? Tito? Tito, it's time to get up. You'll be late. Hey, come on. I hate to wake you, but it's 6:45. Tito, let's go. What's the matter? Tito, wake up. Tito, let's go. Oh. By the time you get this, I'll be gone forever.
He's reading his note. Like, what's this note?
Oh, okay. By the time you get this, I'll be gone forever. After what has happened, it's just not worth to me the pain and unhappiness of staying around anymore. The fun is gone now, so am I. Ciao. Ciao. Ah! Oh my god, he killed himself?
So that could be like cut down. This is
Yeah.
the uncut version. How you like kind of deal with like the manic, and this girl wants to get in his pants, and you're like, okay, great, I can, get. So it's like a
Right.
kind of, it's sort of Marx Brothers being caught in the middle.
Okay. Yeah.
It has, I think it'd be a fun energy for you.
Yeah, I
know?
like this one.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, this next one is from the play Bad Jews.
Okay.
Are you guys Jewish?
No.
Oh, you're not. I thought maybe are you German? Is German your
Yes.
heritage? Ah, okay. I couldn't tell. I thought maybe he was Jewish. Anyway, depending how you feel, this is from Bad Jews. This is the eldest brother, Liam, who is there with his non-Jewish girlfriend at like this family's getting together. These 3 siblings. He's the eldest. The middle brother Jonah. The youngest girl is Daphne. Her real name is Diana.
Right.
And Diana's become this like crazy, like Zionistic, pro-Israel, like nuthead super Jew. Okay. Which he's just like, and he's dating like a non-Jewish girl, and he doesn't really give a crap,
Right.
So they're there because the grandfather died, and they're there for the grandfather's funeral, and this necklace, the Chai necklace,
Yeah.
the grandfather wore in the Holocaust, and it's supposed to be willed to you, the eldest son.
Okay.
But Daphne desperately wants it, and this is like,
It's awesome.
you're just trying, and like you're going down to your parents' other apartment down the other end of the hallway, and trying to like, can I stay here? I'll sleep in the corner. I just can't stay. I can't stand one more second with her. And this is kind of like dealing with his detestation of his like totally A-type personality, sister Daphne. So that's what this is about.
Okay.
Right, a bit close to home.
And can you not brush your hair all over everyone's stuff? Your hair is going everywhere. It's really disgusting. Go in the bathroom if you want to do that. It's rude. And I'm choking on her hair. Is anybody else choking on her hair? You can see the strands just like hanging in the air like pollution. She's like a dog. It's seriously, it's like having a dog in the house. Daphne, you're shedding again. Fucking Daphne.
Maybe you'd say frickin'.
Oh, sorry.
No, only because I
Yeah.
don't care about profanity at all, but I'm just saying we want to kind of generally stuff that gets too sexy or
Right.
too, like sexual molestation, rapey stuff,
Yeah.
abortion stuff, or too much of the F-bomb. It's like it's just good to kind of like water those down because you don't know, depending upon the table you're passing by, if they're more conservative or more liberal. New York won't care, but like maybe the
Yeah.
Midwest
Better
will
to be
care.
safe.
Got it.
Okay, so frickin' Daphne.
Daphne, you're shedding again. Frickin' Daphne. Can we just... Her name is Diana. Diana. I know she wishes she were like this barbed wire hopping, Uzi tooting, Israeli
Toting.
war... Toting. Sorry.
Uzi toting, like the machine gun.
Uzi toting.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah.
Israeli warlock superhero, Daphne, but actually Diana Feigenbaum. Grew up in Schnecksville, Pennsylvania, in an armpit town, doing swim team badly and hysterically sobbing when she didn't get picked to be cheerleader. In her closet, with the door closed. That's a true story, by the way, and her screen name when we were younger, her like AIM screen name, okay, was Princess Diana 88. She's an Israeli
She's as Israeli.
as Martin Van Frickin Buren.
She's as Israeli as Martin Van Frickin Buren.
Buren.
Yeah.
Okay. But she thinks because our grandfather survived the Holocaust and became her disgustingly hideous,
And
because her disgustingly hideous hair probably grows the same as it did for all the other women in the history of our family who actually suffered, that somehow means she suffered too. But the truth is, Princess Diana, 88, has suffered about as much as this pillow. Yeah, I like that one.
That's fun. I
Yeah.
think it's good for you. Okay. Well, I went down the Jew road because I was wrong.
Yeah.
So, but this is from Joshua Harmon. This is his
Okay.
next play called Significant Other,
Okay.
and this is the character of Jordan Berman. Jordan's gay. He's 29, and his friends are like in their mid-late 20s. But he doesn't have to be 29. It doesn't really matter. But he
Right.
is, and so all of his girlfriends are all getting married off. And he's, like the man of honor at all their weddings or in the wedding party or whatever, and he's alone. And it's getting to the point where he's just like freaking out about that. And he just feel like, he had a partner, but then it never worked out. And then it's like, so everyone's kind of like peeling off. He doesn't have his best friends anymore because they're all coupled up and then they're getting married. So this is actually at, he's with his roommate, ex-roommate Laura. This is at her near the end of the play. Or maybe at the beginning, sorry, this is the beginning of the play, where they're at another girl's friend's bachelorette party, and she hasn't met her significant other yet or whatever, and she's like, and he's saying, like, let's just marry each other. We don't have to have sex. Let's just be married and live together because we'd be a great couple, and this is what this is about.
Okay.
It's kind of Will and Gracie,
Okay. We should just marry each other. I'd be such a good husband to you. I would cook for you and, like, rub your feet. Seriously. Buy you magazines when you were sick. Do you remember when you got the flu, right? When we moved in and I washed your face with a damp towel? Yes, I even cleaned your armpits. Are you freaking kidding me? Laura, I cleaned your freaking armpits. I wish we still lived together. We're grown-ups. I keep forgetting that. But we could still maybe have kids, maybe. How would we do it? Turkey baster? Yeah,
Maybe?
maybe.
Was the puppies was maybe or no? I can't remember.
Maybe.
Yes.
Nope.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this is from David Sedaris' The Santaland Diaries. This is all about Santa, the reindeer, and elves. So this is Crumpet, and trying to get a job as an elf. He's like going through the process of actually applying to be an elf.
Okay. I am applying for a job as an elf. Even worse than applying is the very real possibility that I will not be hired. That I couldn't even find work as an elf. That's when you know you're a failure. I'm down to the wire here. $20 away from walking dogs and begging my mother for a loan. I applied at a place that covers styrofoam creatures in moss. Left to its own devices, nature can cover things in moss for free. It's not that difficult a task, but still I didn't get the job. A skill. A person needs a skill. Why hadn't I ever realized that before? In order to become an elf, I filled out 10 pages worth of forms, took a multiple choice personality test, underwent 2 interviews, and submitted urine for a drug test. The first interview was general, designed to eliminate the obvious sociopaths. During the second interview, we were asked why we wanted to be elves, which, when you think about it, is a fairly tough question. I listened as the woman ahead of me, a former waitress, answered the question saying, I really want to be an elf because I think it's about acting, and before this I worked in a restaurant, which was run by this really wonderful woman who had a dream to open a restaurant, and it made me realize that it's really, really important to have a dream. Everything this woman said, every phrase and sentence was punctuated with a question mark, and the interviewer never raised an eyebrow. When it was my turn, I explained that I wanted to be an elf because it was one of the most frightening career opportunities I had ever come across. The interviewer raised her face from my application and said, "And?" I like that one.
David Sedaris.
I think it's fun. Yeah, Sedaris is great.
Yeah.
This next one is the Baltimore Waltz. Carl is the brother of Anna. He's gay. He is. This is early in the AIDS crisis in San Francisco, and he is a child librarian. So he reads stories to kids and has projects with them every day. They come and they do different stuff. Different classes come to him, and he's great. So his boss finds out that Carl is gay and fires him. So he's coming right from this meeting with this bitch boss who gave him this pink slip.
Okay.
So he's kind of like talking to the kids and like they're today's projects we're all gonna make pink triangles and you're gonna give these pink triangles to every single person. You can wear them, give them to your mommy, give them to this. So it's like he's just like brainwashing them like you didn't want your family friends. I'm gay. Yeah. All these kids are gonna have like gay shit to take home to everybody. Screw it. So that's what I'm looking at.
Okay. Good morning, boys and girls. It's Monday morning, and it's time for Reading Hour with Uncle Carl, once again, here at the North Branch of the San Francisco Public Library. This is going to be a special reading hour. It's my very last reading hour with you. Friday will be my very last day with the San Francisco Public as child's librarian. Why? Do any of you know what a pink slip is? It means I'm going on a paid leave of absence for 2 weeks. Shelley Bizio, the branch supervisor, has given me my very own pink slip. I got a pink slip because I wear this, a pink triangle. Now, I want you all to take the pink construction paper in front of you and take your scissors and cut out pink triangles. There's tape at every table, so you can wear them too. Make some for mom and dad and your brothers and sisters. Very good, Fabio. Oh, that's a beautiful pink triangle. Tehing. Now, before we read our last story together, I thought we might have a sing-along. Your parents can join in if they'd like to. Oh, don't be shy. Let's do Here We Go Round the Mulberry Bush. Remember that one? I don't know this tune.
Here we go round the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush. Here we go round the mulberry bush so early in the morning. This is the way we pick our nose, pick our nose, pick our nose. This is the way we pick our nose so early in the morning. The verse. This is the way we go on strike, go on strike, go on strike. This is the way we go on strike.
What? Miss Bizio, I may leave immediately. No, I do not have to wait until Friday to collect unemployment. Why, thank you, Mrs. Bizio. Well, boys and girls, Mrs. Bizio will take over now. Bear with her. She's personality impaired. I want you to be very good and remember me. I'm leaving for an immediate vacation with my sister on the East Coast, and I'll think of you as I travel. Remember to wear those pink triangles. I'm going. You don't have to be rude. They enjoyed it. We'll take it up with the union in a language you might understand. Up pay, ours yay.
You know what that means?
No.
Pig Latin for up yours. Up pay, ours yay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we do a little bit of cutting in there, but I think it's a
I like that.
fun monologue for you. I think it's really good. Okay, this next one is this kid who gets bullied a lot, and this bully's always picking on him and like giving him what they call a swirly, like putting his head in the toilet and all that kind of stuff. Which I'd never heard that term. Have you heard of swirlies?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was like, when I was going to school, we had like Melvins and stuff, like from underwear, but like we never like went with that thing. I was like, whoa, kicked it up a notch. So anyway, so this is his fantasy of like how he could get back at those guys who give him swirlies.
Right, okay. That's how it goes in my mind. He shoves my head in the bowl, flushes, and I pop up. Jack in the Box. Thank you. The problem is that in real life, I never get past choking on the bowl water. My brain is trying to say, thank you, and the rest of me is gagging, and if the toilet wasn't flushed before I let's not even go there. Since thank you doesn't seem to be happening, I'm working on another strategy. Vomiting. I'm optimistic about vomiting because it's all I can do not to vomit already. So, this would be like going with the flow, and even better, his legs are right there. It's just point and shoot. And if you knew that every time you gave me a swirly you were gonna have to go home and change your pants, you'd think twice about it. It's the power of retaliatory vomiting. And I hate vomiting. It's the worst feeling in the world. Almost as bad as having your head stuck in a flushing toilet. I like that one.
I do
Yeah.
too.
Okay, so those are the comedics.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're starting with dramatics.
Alright.
This is Joe from Angels in America,
Okay.
the Mormon who's married to the Valley. Do you know Angels in America?
I've heard of it. Don't know
Oh
what
my
it's
God,
like.
it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Okay.
Okay, so this guy's gay. He's married. He's Mormon with his Mormon wife. They're in New York. They moved from Utah. She knows that he's gay, and so she kind of escapes into Valium. She's a Valium addict. So like a lot of times, like in the play, she's hallucinating with different kind of weird stuff.
Okay.
And so he comes home and he doesn't really always know how he's going to find her, and he takes these long walks and kind of voyeuristically looks at guys or goes with a guy, and he's like, you know, in New York, he's really kind of like constantly bombarded with that temptation,
Yeah.
and he's always wrestling with that. So this is him coming home and him saying to her, I can't stop this anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Harper, please listen. I still love you very much. You're still my best buddy. I'm not going to leave you. Stay. We have to talk. You want the truth? This is the truth. I knew this when I married you. I've known this, I guess, for as long as I've known anything, but I don't know. I thought maybe that with enough effort and will I could change myself, but I can't. I'm losing ground here. I go walking and I go to the park or up and down 53rd Street or places where, and I keep swearing I won't go walking again, but I just can't. I try to tighten my heart into a knot. I try to learn to live dead, just numb, but then I see someone I want and it's like a nail, like a hot spike right through my chest, and I know I'm losing. My whole life has conspired to bring me to this place, and I can't despise my whole life. I believed when I met you I could save you. You at least, if not myself, but I don't have any sexual feelings for you, Harper, and I don't think I ever did. I like that one.
So it's really, it's like,
Yeah.
the cool thing about it is the struggle to like, probably the first time he's ever said it even to himself.
Right. Yeah.
So it's the obstacle of actually getting the courage out to say it. And kind of
Yeah.
going, I have to do, and probably it feels sort of freeing to finally do, but I mean it's,
Yeah.
and also just knowing how, what a slippery slope she's always on.
Yeah.
Like, will she OD? Like, you don't
Yeah.
know.
Exactly.
But I can't live this line anymore, you know, so that's kind of what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now we're back to Jordan. This is near the end of the play, and he's really talking to, again, his friend Laura, who we met in the other one, who was talking
Yeah.
about getting married. This is near the end of the play, and when she's been with her guy and getting married, this is now her bachelorette party at the
Okay.
end. And just feeling like, you know, they've always gone to every wedding together, like, they've always, like when they have the couples dance, like, come on, you and I'll dance, there was you know, not dancing alone. And so this is the first wedding he'll be like on the edge of the dance floor with no one to dance with.
Yeah.
And so this is really him just kind of ranting on her about, you know, I really felt abandoned, you know, we haven't been, stop calling me best friends, we haven't been best friends in a long time actually.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of like really dumping on her about, you've left me,
Yeah.
basically.
Okay. We haven't been best friends for a while. It is so totally unfair to still call me your best friend when that is so clearly not the case. Who's the first person you go to when you need someone? Right, Tony. We were best friends when we lived together, or when we spent every weekend together, or when we talked multiple times every single day, and we don't do that anymore. Not even close. You wake up next to Tony and you fall asleep next to Tony. When your mom pisses you off, you call Tony. But I haven't found someone to replace you, and all the things you got from our friendship, you get from Tony now, which is great. But all the things I got, things I really need, I'm not getting them from anyone. And then you tell me I'm your best friend, but it's so different. It's so different, and I feel so alone, Laura. Your wedding is my funeral. I'm happy for you, because all I have ever wanted is for you to be happy. I never thought I wouldn't be part of that happiness somehow. Yeah. I like that one.
I think it's a really good piece for you.
Yeah.
That feels like home. That's
Yeah.
a really good.
You read it really well.
That's really sad.
That's a really good piece, and it's true. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, how relationships change. You know.
Yeah.
This is the Laramie Project. You know the show, the Laramie Project.
I've heard that, yeah.
This is around the death of Matthew Shepard. Do you know about Matthew Shepard? Oh my goodness.
Oh, I feel bad. I know. What have we done?
Do you hear how high she belted though? That's all I talk about. This is why you don't go to a conservatory.
You have any
Okay.
Death of a Salesman there?
Right now.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that even.
So this is okay. So Matthew Shepard was a gay college student up in Wyoming,
Okay.
and he was killed, and like hate crime killed, and like dead and like strapped to a fence to rot. Like it was a really horrible thing in Laramie, Wyoming. So the Laramie Project is literally a collection of kind of monologues and scenes from interviews with all sorts of different people from Laramie, Wyoming who were connected in some way or knew about this.
Right.
So this kid, Jedediah Schultz, is straight. He's straight, but he really wants to be an actor, and his
Yeah.
parents are completely broke. There was no way he could even afford to go to the University of Wyoming, even get in there, because he couldn't afford it.
Right.
The only way he could get in was if he got a scholarship in the high school state theater championships, and he chose a scene from Angels in America to do,
Okay.
and that's how he got in. So this is what this piece is about him telling his parents and realizing how homophobic they were,
Right.
which I think shocked him,
Yeah. Okay.
because he's not that way, and he didn't believe his parents were.
Yeah. I lived in Wyoming my whole life. My parents couldn't afford to send me to college. I wanted to study theater, and I knew that if I was going to go to college, I was going to have to get on a scholarship.
Yeah.
And so they have this Wyoming State high school competition each year. And I knew that if I didn't take first place, that I wasn't going to get a scholarship. So I went to the theater department of the university looking for good scenes, and I asked one of the professors. It was from Angels in America. So I read it, and I knew that if I could win best scene, if I did a good enough job, that I could win best scene if I did a good enough job.
Yeah.
I told my mom and dad so that they would come to the competition. Now you have to understand, my parents go to everything I've ever done. They told me that if I did that scene, that they would not come to see me in this competition. Because they believe that it is so wrong, that homosexuality is wrong. They felt that strongly about it that they didn't want to come see me, their son, do probably the most important thing he'd done to that point in his life. And I didn't know what to do, but I decided to do it. There was a standing ovation. We took first place, and that's how come I can afford to be here at the university, because of that scene. It was one of the best moments of my life, and my parents weren't there. I like that one.
So it has to have like a tremendous amount of gravity
Yeah.
about the loss of your parents. Like so,
Yeah.
it's not like just as we go through, it's like we're gonna. Everything that we're gonna build is gonna have at least 4 or 5 colors to it. So it's not just an angry piece or just whatever. It's gonna have a
Yeah.
lot of nuance.
Okay.
'Cause that's important because you never, in every audition, you never know if you ever get a chance to sing the next song or do the next piece or whatever. You're given the window at the beginning, so it's
Yeah.
always important to stack everything with as much nuance as you can.
Mhm.
So we'll build that out a lot. Okay. So- Oh, got a friend.
Aw.
They're really,
That's
they
just-
are really
So she
sweet.
laid down a while ago.
Oh.
This is from Everything Will Be Different by Mark Schultz, the role of Franklin. He's breaking into this girl Charlotte's window. He's really nervous because they're like planning to lose their virginity together,
Right. Okay.
and it's just like torture.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm ready, is all. I just needed some time to be ready, is all, and now I'm ready. So here I am. I'll sit with you on the bed if you like, and we'll get comfortable, and we can start. Sit on the bed, we can talk, or we can get started, or whatever, however it goes. So I figure that it's really important for me to do this, I guess. I mean, I figure that I'm probably in love with you, or will be most likely. With enough time, given a little time, I could be a real good husband. Maybe we could get married. Married people learn to love. Sometimes slowly, but they learn. I'm a good learner. Fast learner. I'd learn faster. Please, sit on the bed. Please, make this easy. So, maybe we can start now? I don't know what to do. You know what to do.
Like you know what to do?
Oh, you know what to do. Oh, question mark.
Like do you? Like I don't know what to
You
do.
know what to do?
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I climbed in your window. That was hard. I climbed in your window and I'm here and it was hard getting here, coming to this place. Why is everything so hard? Just be nice to me, please. Be nice to me. Okay. Maybe.
Okay.
Definitely maybe.
So those were the serious ones. Okay. Now we're going into comedic classical.
Okay.
And I've pulled. I have I have two Shakespeare and a Moliere restoration.
Okay.
Okay. This first one, you have Sylvia's first.
Yes.
Okay. This is a guy who's crazy in love with this girl, Phoebe. Phoebe. They're both shepherds. It's kind of like the kind of the rustic mechanical class, the lower class people. He's talking to Corin, who's an old shepherd as well, out in the field, and saying to him, "No one has ever been in love with this girl as much as I've been in love. No one's ever been in love as I have." And he's like, "I've been in love like that." He goes, "Oh, you haven't? You can't remember?" No, and so it's like, and he's talking about how much he loves her. You haven't done this, you haven't been in love. You haven't done this, you haven't been in love. And so he's just like professing how much. And the truth is, he's kind of like her lapdog. Like he's like follows her around and will take any abuse, and she's really abusive.
Right.
So
Okay.
she just treats him like crap and like sends him on all sorts of errands and never. And he's like, "I love you, I love you, I love you," and she doesn't give it back to him, and he just doesn't matter. He's still blindly in love with her.
Right. Okay.
He's talking to Corin to prove that how much he is.
Okay. Oh, Corin, that thou newest how
Newest.
newest how I do love her.
I partly guess for I've loved there now.
No, Corin, being old, thou canst guess.
Canst not guess.
Though in thy youth thou wast oh my gosh,
Uh-huh.
as true a lover
There you go.
as ever sighed upon a midnight pillow. But if thy love were ever like to mine, as sure I think did never man love so, how many actions most ridiculous hast thou been drawn by thy fantasy?
Drawn to by thy fantasy.
Drawn to by thy fantasy.
Into 1,000 that I have forgotten.
Forgotten? Oh, thou didst
Didst then ne'er.
didst then ne'er love so heartily, if thou rememberst not the slightest folly that ever love did make thee run into, thou hast not loved, or if thou hast not sat as I do now, wearying thy hearer in thy mistress's praise, thou hast not loved. Or if thou hast not broke from company abruptly, as my passion now makes me, thou hast not loved. Oh, Phoebe, Phoebe, Phoebe.
So it's a very fun physical monologue. Sitting
Yeah.
and jumping him, like getting these, like kind of bursts of passion and impulse. So it's,
Okay.
proving that. It's fun and physical.
Yeah, I like that. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
This is Orlando from As You Like It. He's like the young leading man.
Okay.
He meets Rosalind, who is the Duke's daughter, kind of like the princess, kind of. And he is the son of, he's the son of the Duke, but the Duke's brother, Oliver, hates the Duke and he wants the power.
Right.
So he's
Okay.
pitting you, the Duke's son, against his wrestler, Charles.
Okay.
And you win remarkably above this big guy. You still
Okay.
feel like you're strong and you found a way to win. Rosalind and her friend Celia were watching that. They come up to you and say, you know, you were wonderful, and you think she's really beautiful, and you're like, you just can't speak. So this is like, she goes, okay, well, I guess I'll see you later. Because he's just like, he's talking and he's not. And then he's like, oh my God. So this is actually a splice between this scene, where this is right after she leaves, and that he feels like an idiot that he can't, he's so dumbfounded by her that he can't speak. And then he gets the idea to write his feelings on all these verses and hang signs on trees as like a gallery, and that anyone who walks by will see how much he loves her. So the beginning is him feeling like an idiot that he can't talk, and then getting the idea, and the second half is him doing all this stuff and yelling to the moon and saying, look how beautiful she is, everyone read these notices.
Okay. What passion hangs these weights upon my tongue? I cannot speak to her, yet she urged conference. Oh, poor Orlando, thou art overthrown, or Charles or something weaker masters thee. Heavenly Rosalind.
Rosalind. And then he like comes with a verse and he like puts it on a branch.
Okay.
Hang there, my verse.
Hang there, my verse, in witness of my love. And thou, thrice crowned queen of night, survey with thy chaste eye, from thy pale sphere above, the huntress's name that my full life doth sway. O Rosalind, these trees shall be my books, and in their barks my thoughts all character, that every eye which is in this forest looks shall see thy virtue witnessed everywhere. Run, run, Orlando, carve on every tree the fair, the chaste, and unexpressive she. Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
This next one I think is really good for you. This is the sort of the smart servant to the master. You know, like the Artful Dodger, like that kind of slot. Like he's normally the lead of the play,
Yeah.
but he's like the second banana guy in the household, but he's actually the lead of the play. So this is Ergast from School for Husbands. He's the husband. This guy is trying to win over this girl Isabel, but Isabel's already married, and her husband's really, really crotchety and mean, and he's befriending them, but he goes like, how can I possibly win her? She's already married and he's like a real idiot. And he goes, I have served women chasers by the score. I'm not one myself, but I'll tell you something, I know how to win her. Getting in with the husband, you know, spending time with him and being, you know, just patient and empathetic to the wife,
Right.
suddenly has her open up and they're like, thank you, you understand my pain, and that's how you get in with her.
Okay.
So like, don't have the husband block you, it's actually having a husband is the way in to win her.
Okay. Alright.
That's what you're talking about.
Cheer up, you have no cause to feel undone. A woman closely watched is halfway won, and a harsh husband or a crab's sire is just what any lover should desire. I don't chase women, for that I have no talent, and I do not profess to be a gallant. But I've served women, chasers by the score, who told me often that nothing pleased them more than meeting with those fractious husbands who come grumbling home and scold all evening through. All this, they said, is favorable to us. The ladies pique at being treated thus, and the warm sympathy which we then express can pave the way to an amorous success. In short, if you have hopes of Isabel, her guardian's cranky ways may serve you well.
That's it.
Okay. I like that one.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
It's smart and it's fun because like, kind of lays it out. It's like,
Okay.
don't get upset by this. It's
Yeah.
all gonna work out. Okay, now we're into a serious classical.
Okay.
This is Richmond from Richard III. Richmond is like the Deus Ex Machina. He's the good guy that comes in at the end and saves the day and like takes down the evil empire of Richard III, which is all built on corruption. Sound familiar?
She's
I'm a
shaking her
Richard-
head. She's so
I'm
shaking.
a Richard III sympathizer. So this play.
So he's now talking. It's kind of like a Braveheart moment. Like he's talking to the troops of the people who believe in that too and think Richard's corrupt and horrible and ruining everything.
Okay.
And he's about to talk to them, saying, "You know, I know you are scared, but please know that God is on our side. We are doing the right thing. We are fighting God's enemy right
Okay.
now." And that's what he's talking to the troops to enroll them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember this. God and our good cause fight upon our side. Those whom we fight against had rather have us win than have
him
they follow. For what is he they follow? Truly, gentlemen, a bloody tyrant and a homicide, one raised in blood and one in blood established, one that made means to come by what he hath, and slaughtered those that were the means to help him. A base foul stone, made precious by the foil of England's chair, where he is falsely set. One that hath ever been God's enemy, then, if you fight against God's enemy, God will in justice ward you as his soldiers. If you do sweat to put a tyrant down, you sleep in peace, tyrant being slain. If you do fight against your country's foes, your country's fat shall pay your pains the higher. If you do fight in safeguard of your wives shall welcome you home the conquerors.
Shall welcome home the conqueror.
Shall welcome home the
There
conquerors.
you go.
If you do free your children from the sword, your children's children, quit it in your age. Then, in the name of God and all these rights, advance your standards, draw your willing swords. For me, the ransom of my bold attempt shall be this cold corpse on the earth's cold face. But if I thrive, the gain of my attempt, the least of you shall share his part thereof. I like that one. Yeah.
It's bold and it's heroic. It's
Yeah.
great. It's kind of like your leading man color, you know. Okay, cool. Well, good. That's hitting them. It's good. This is again the good son from King Lear. This is Edgar. Edgar and Edmund, who was born out of wedlock, who's a bastard, are both the son of Gloucester, one of the advisors to King Lear. When King Lear, who's starting to go a little senile, divides his kingdom among his three daughters. The two eldest, Goneril and her husband, and Regan, the second daughter, and her husband, each take a third. And the third one, Cordelia, the sweet, good one, marries a nobleman or a king of France, so she moves to France.
Right.
So the two daughters really are running England, and they're very, very greedy, and they're really, and he's kind of losing it, so they're really impatient with him. Sort of like some of the current administration, like, you know, the people just get fired and removed, and like,
Yeah.
okay, so Gloucester is, you know, and the king has kind of given up his power. He doesn't quite know what's happening. So the daughters take over, and the daughters like start to take down all the people that were close to the king.
Okay.
Your character realizes he's in danger, and he runs away in banishment, and disguise himself as a beggar, poor Tom. Your father, and then Edmund, the bastard brother, is working his way up on the evil staircase with the daughters,
Okay.
to like take over the kingdom. Your father, Gloucester, is the victim of the second daughter, who he's saying, you shouldn't be doing this. The king, I'm still a servant of the king, and they actually gouge his eyes out.
Okay.
So
Okay.
okay. So he's wandering blind, and you see him wandering disguised as this beggar, and you introduce yourself. You never reveal who you are, that you're his son,
Right.
but you guide him through the last part of his life. And this is talking to the the husband of Goneril near the end, when you return, and you come in and you kind of right the wrong, you kill Edmund the bastard.
Right.
Cordelia comes back at the last second, is there for the death of King Lear, her father, and finally the kingdom is righted again and taken away from,
Okay.
the evil girls are poisoned and things like that. So,
Okay.
but this is him kind of saying, how have I known the miseries of my father? By nursing them, my lord. And you're telling about like that you personally disguised took him through the end of his journey.
Okay. How have I known the miseries of my father? By nursing them, my lord. The bloody proclamation to escape that followed me so near taught me to shift into a madman's rags to assume a semblance that very dogs disdained, and in this habit met I my father with these bleeding rings. Their precious stones now lost.
New lost.
New lost.
Meaning his eyes were taken.
Oh. New lost became his guide, led him, begged for him, saved him from despair. Never, O fault, revealed myself unto him, until some half hour passed, when I was armed, not sure, though hoping, of this good success. I asked his blessing, and from first to last, told him my pilgrimage, but his flawed heart, alack, too weak the conflict to support. Twixt two extremes of passion, joy, and grief, burst smilingly.
So he caused him to have a heart attack and die, but from the upset and yet the joy of reconnecting with you, like he died in your arms. That's what you're
Oh, okay.
talking about, the death of your dad.
Okay, I like this one.
It's nice. It's a sweet
Yeah.
story. And again, it's very compassionate and lovely.
It's like the whole Oedipus Rex thing. I was thinking.
Yes, it is. It is. This next
Wow.
one
Kids.
is Claudio from Much Ado About Nothing. Claudio's a young soldier, young captain, who's a good friend of the lead guy, Benedict. They come back after the war to this villa in Italy, in Messina, and Leonato is the host of the army, and they're kind of their time away and they're off, and he meets Leonato's daughter, Hero, falls in love with her, and is going to marry her, and the bastard brother Don John. There's Don Pedro, who's the prince. Don John, another prince, who's the bastard, the evil prince, and then Leonato. Don John, with his people, his henchmen, want the power for themselves. They want to screw up your marriage. They rig it where they make sure you're watching, and one of his henchmen already has a relationship with one of Hero's waiting women, Margaret, and so he sees, like, in Hero's window, this guy, wooing her, and you think it's Hero, so you think that she's been philandering on you before your wedding. This is at the wedding,
Okay.
and you're about to, take her hand, and instead you ridicule her at the altar
Okay.
in front of everybody, in front of the prince, in front of everybody, and saying,
Gotcha.
sweet, there, Leonardo, take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend.
Okay. Sweet prince, you learn me noble thankfulness. There, Leonardo, take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She's but the sign and semblance of her honor. Behold now like a maid, she
Behold,
blushes.
how like a
How
maid.
like a maid, she blushes here. Oh, what authority and show of truth can cunning sin cover itself withal? Comes not the blood as modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Would you not swear, all you that see her, that she were a maid by these exterior shows? But she has none. She knows the heat of a luxurious bed. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty. Okay. And is that all that we're doing?
Then,
Okay.
not to be married, not to knit my soul. I would say, like, what do you mean, my lord? I mean not to be married, not to knit my soul to that approved wanton.
Okay. I mean, not to be married, not to knit my soul to an approved wanton. I know what you would say. If I have known her, You will say she did embrace me as a husband, as so
Extenuate the forehand
extenuate
sin.
the
Meaning, like,
forehand sin.
you went to bed before you actually got married, but you're already betrothed, so, okay.
Okay.
You know, it's not the end of the world, because you're already married and you have kids, and it's fine.
Right. And so extenuate the forehand sin. No, Leonato, I never tempted her with word too large, but as my brother to his sister showed bashful sincerity and comely love. Out on thee, seeming, I will write against it. You seem to me as Dian in her orb, as chaste as is
Chaste.
as chaste as is the
Is that
bud.
word again?
Yeah. Same word. As chaste as is the bud ere it be blown. But you are more intemperate in your blood than Venus or the pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality. Okay. I like that one.
It's ballsy and it's like,
Yeah.
it's really kind of, it has got a lot of emotion and a lot of, you know, big people in their place, which I like.
Okay.
And it's
And
a
that's
comedy,
it.
right?
That's it.
Yeah, it's comedy.
It's a comedy.
Yeah, it is. Well, it is a comedy.
Yeah.
But it definitely has the center
Yeah.
of it gets really dark.
Yeah.
You know, and they wrestle through it and come out again. But it's not just, you know, funny all the way through for sure.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so let's just prioritize for a second.
Okay.
I would say, hearing you read it, I would go with. I think that the Baltimore Waltz, the Pink Triangle ones, is really good for you.
Yeah.
I think the flushing your head in the toilet is good for you.
Okay.
And I think that Ergast is a really good, you know, the valet
Okay.
is a really good one for a classical comedic for you. And I really like Jordan where he's talking about we haven't been best friends in a while as your dramatic contemporary. And I think maybe Claudio or Richmond, and you know, I have my master's in classical theater, so believe me, we'll like break this down so you really understand it. You'll actually have a system of how to do Shakespeare on your own from then on to
Okay.
figure it out. So I'll give you that.
Okay.
So don't freak out about that.
All right.
Claudio Ergast, Jordan. Claudio. Do you feel like? Do you consider yourself like fun and goofy? Is that a thing that that's kind of one of your colors or how you roll?
I mean, I feel like I can be, if I wanted to.
Okay. Do you have a great you have such a great height
Yeah.
and thinness that's like, it could be like kind of, it could be a really fun
Yeah.
thing for you. So let's keep Sylvius in the back burner as well.
Okay.
I think these. I mean, keep the S pile, whatever. But I think these are your top 5. I would say Baltimore Waltz, which I think is just gonna rock for you, and Flushing My Head in the Toilet. Those are both good contemporary comedics. I would definitely go with Jordan about You're Not My Best Friend Anymore as your dramatic. Ergast by Moliere for your classical comedic, and then Claudio from Much Ado for your. What do you guys think based on what you read?
Yeah. So what?
Yeah, Shakespeare, you need a little.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
This is
No,
just
I
like,
think
what
those
is
are
this?
great.
I don't know. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I
I
was just
can-
trying to remember the one that you just like nailed. It was like perfect. I wish I would have remembered.
The what?
Angels in America.
Yeah, the Angels in America.
Oh, the
the best friend one.
Yeah.
Was that from Angels in America?
No, the one where you said we're not best friends anymore.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
you know I will never be. That's from
Oh, no.
Significant Other.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. The other one that he was saying to his wife, I go walking in the park.
That one. Yeah.
Did you like that one too?
Yeah.
Okay, let's put that as another alternate to Jordan as an alternate
Right.
series. Joe Harper or Joe Pitt rather.
But now,
Joe.
will Angels in America be overdone? Do you think at some of these? Do you think I mean, we don't want to pick something that everyone might?
Mhm.
Okay.
I have many
You know.
overdone lists and I cross
Okay.
reference it.
Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I do. I always do.
But
And if
now,
they shift every year, so I always like double check them. How's that going? You know.
Yeah. You don't think he's too young for that one though?
For
The Angels in- uh-huh.
No, because he's like he's
Well,
probably
they're
about
Mormon.
25.
Okay.
That's how old. That's how old. They're like young. You know, they're like
Yeah. Yeah.
got married right out of high school at 17. Mormon, just like been betrothed since they were 8, and
Yeah.
like it's just and he's been gay, and that's just how it is. Like just
Yeah.
community
Okay.
just pushes you into it together.
Oh yeah.
So, okay, cool. So you have kind of what we're prioritizing at the top.
Yeah.
Great.
That's exciting. I've never really.
And you can keep those. I mean, do you want to keep those for yourself, or do you want?
If
Okay.
I could, yeah.
I mean, yeah, these. But do you want to
Okay.
keep any of these,
Um.
or if you're kind of like, not gonna need it.
Or will it confuse you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
No problem. Thanks. All right, come over. Let's come over here. How are we doing?
All right.
We have 10 minutes. Let's whip through some of this real quick.
Okay.
I'm going to I'm going to finalize the video because the rest of it's going to be over here. We can just talk through it. I can send you what we're about to do.